Hey, welcome back to the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge, and today we have Short Circuits. This is a collection of shorts. Uh, it's like an anthology of sorts. It is only one season. It came out at the start of this year, 2020. Yes, we're still in 2020. Um, there are 14 episodes of all different types of animation and stuff that you'd expect from Disney. This is sort of following a Fantasia type model where there's stories that are sort of, well, these are each all individual episodes, but Fantasia sort of threw a bunch of different stories together into one film, and music was the strong underpinning of the entire thing. It's they were set to music. This some of these are very strongly tied to the music that's in them, but for the most part, they are nonverbal stories. There's almost no dialogue in most of these videos, um, and that goes along with also the tradition with other Pixar shorts. By the way, this is not Pixar. This is Walt Disney Animation. Don't get those confused. They might take offense. They are they're all part of the same company, but yes, they're two very different teams, and sometimes there's crossover. But but yeah, this is very much an initiative of the Walt Disney Animation Studios up in Burbank. You'll see a lot of footage before each of the shorts, which honestly, some of them are less than 2 minutes long. Even though each of these episodes here are listed as 5 minutes, 5 minutes, 6 minutes, they're actually barely 2 minutes long in some cases. And what you do get before each one of them is an introduction from the creator and director of each of these films. Basically, anybody in the Disney studios can, at any level, can pitch an idea, and it goes through a review process to say, can we make this? Should we make this? What kind of story do we? Is this a good idea? So eventually, certain people get picked, and they get to head their own short movie production, even though some of them have never done anything like this before. There's one guy in there that says, he's one of the heads of production who got one of his in, and there's some people who are literally probably just a few steps above making coffee for everybody. I don't know who that is, but it's a diverse group of creators. Um, so many different gorgeous styles. Some that you're used to. You see the normal 2D animation, or you see that there's a huge proliferation of 3D animation. Like you would have for Frozen or Wreck-It Ralph. There's some that marry the two beautifully, and some just gorgeous ways. We get everything from almost the pixelation, not pixelation, but the texture of a Sunday morning newspaper cartoon to watercolors. Um, there's it's the kind of thing that yeah. I mean, there's 14 episodes. I watched them, every single one of them, right off, and because they are also silent, they're not silent. There's no dialogue in them. You need to focus on them, and as if people have noticed, I've said before. In some of my videos, I watch these things sometimes while I'm working on other things, especially if it's a movie that I've seen before, and I pay attention to the parts that really stick out to me that I can talk about. But these you have to focus on. You have to pay attention just to really fully be taken by them. Um, it's not just a background type of bit of storytelling. What I found interesting is some of the origins of some of these are very personal to the creators. One of which, and by the way, not all of these are also made just for the movie screen or the TV screen. One of these creators made one that was meant for VR, where you can literally walk through the animated sequence and experience it, all around you. And it's a story called Cycles. It's it's it, it's emotional. Let's just say that it tells a story about having to put his grandmother in assisted living, and that whole period of time around there when his mother had to make that decision. The crazy thing is that it's not just something he worked with on his own with the animation team, but his mom actually came in and recorded original music on guitar to go with this. So it's very much a family affair, and I couldn't understand why, but I was misting up because it was just a little. It was very personal. So yeah, it's something that I don't have a VR setup. I want a VR setup now so that I can experience this thing. It's pretty great. Uh, I wish I could give proper time to every single one of these things because the stories are so diverse. They're so unique, and maybe I, it's not the kind of thing that would have necessarily been pitched to be a full feature length production, but they work beautifully as shorts. Some of them you kind of want to dig into that world a little bit more, and then some of them you're like, no, this is exactly what it needs to be. It doesn't need to be bigger. If it is someday down the line, I'm not going to fight it, not going to argue, but there's something beautiful about the succinctness of the storytelling and how they do it, and I highly, highly, highly recommend everybody check this series out. Like I said, you can half this 5 minutes of these is just the far end credits. So, and if you get a chance, if you want to, you can also skip the intro from the creators, and you'd probably blow through all 14 of these in less than 15 minutes if you just watch the features without any of the introduction. So it's it's worth your time, and I think it's a great testament to some of the talent that is just bubbling under the surface. Not just the big boys that and literally the big boys that run the studio, but there are men and women of all ages and origins and everything else that have a story to tell, and it's kind of great when they get to work with the people that have made the features that they grew up with, helping them out to make their minute and a half story. It's pretty. I think it's pretty great. Worth your time. Please check it out when you get a chance on Disney Plus, because what else am I doing here if I'm not encouraging you to check out some pretty awesome movies and shorts? All right, let's pick tomorrow's then while we're at it.
512.
Ooh, 512, you say? I know where the 500s are. 512. Well, we're about to. I've held off. I tried to hold off wearing a Star Wars shirt, and for the longest time, but it didn't. Something like this didn't come along soon enough. But maybe I'll wear this shirt since we're outside of the 1 year range. We're on year 2 now. I have a shirt for this movie. I have a shirt for all the movies. Let's just say that. We're gonna watch tomorrow the epic conclusion, the controversial but epic conclusion to the Skywalker saga, Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker. All right, that's what we're up for tomorrow on the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge, The Rise of Skywalker. I'll see you back here tomorrow. Bye.